I'm doing good, brother. The markets today.
It's crazy.
Gold, silver.
Gold is a tricky asset, and it's crazy because we've seen a historic jump that's trillions of dollars added to the market, and we've seen it hit a high of 5,600, and then it just crashed today back down to 4,890 last that I seen. And I can't really call it. It's just institutional manipulation. You know what I mean? It's really wild right now.
Yeah.
And people need to learn what's going on, because your money is losing value every day. I mean, you have $100, it's losing
Right.
a percentage every day. You're losing value.
Yeah, we've talked about this. They're crashing the American dollar.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Insane, bro.
It's insane what's going on right now, And it needs to be studied. I mean, you need to study what's going on, Like, people don't understand. Hard assets are going to be very valuable in the new world when things change, which they are changing every day. Things that the government can't print more of. The government can print more money. They can print more money. They've said it openly. They can print as much money as they want. It's called quantitative easing from the Federal Reserve, and it's where they add more money to the system by selling these treasury bonds. You know what I mean? And what they do is they inflate the system, which makes your money worth less.
Right.
So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, coming from someone who's just trying to learn it all, it's definitely a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is. It's a puzzle. You got to learn a little bit at a time. Like you picture like 100-piece puzzle. This is like a 1,000-piece puzzle, like a 10,000-piece puzzle, and you got to learn all these little things. And there's so much things going on that it's changing all the time. So
the one thing I've come to compare it to is it's just like learning a new language.
It is.
Like a completely new something that you can't even fathom what it's all about. But yeah, it's so much.
Well, you have to learn the language, right? Like,
right.
You have to understand, what, especially if you're talking about, the fundamentals of the market. You have to learn, what is this? When you're looking at a chart, what is, support, what is resistance, what's supply and demand. That's really all that it is. And these fucking course sellers, all these lames online.
Scammers.
Yeah, they're basically scammers. I mean, they try to sell you a course and they make it more complicated they're like, this fair value gap is where you need to look at doing it. It's like, bro, all that's bullshit. It's just,
Yeah.
I see that and I just...
So what even about these people, because I know I've gotten sucked into a few of them, and the thing that got me was the signals. Oh, we'll send you signals every day.
That's great,
just
right?
Pay us this much and whatever.
Signals are great, but they're using B-book servers to offset the time of the market to make it look like they're in a trade that they're not. They're using these huge stop losses. They're manipulating the broker, their dad owns the broker or whatever. It's like there's a lot of bullshit that's going on with that. And a lot of these guys, they make more money off of courses than they do off trading because they don't know how to trade for real,
Right.
Like, you have to be a special type of person to trade because you can lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you have to take that to the chin, It's crazy. I've lost a lot of money in one day, and you have to suck it up and take it and try again.
It's part of the process.
You have to have a extreme amount of hope, like a delusional. That's the word I'm looking for. Delusional amount of hope that it's going to work out. And if you don't have that, your whole family is going to think you're crazy. When you call your mom or you call somebody and you're like, I lost 5K today. She's like, what the fuck, Yeah. And it's like, that's life.
But
what if I made it? What if I, I've made 5K, I lost 5. Right. It's just, you have to have a risk tolerance that's just out of this world, you know what I mean? To be a profitable trader, because you're going to lose. Can you lose well? Can you lose with a smile on your face? Can you lose and say, it's all good, I'll get it back next week? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or are you going to have a fucking meltdown? And are you going to let it affect your mental health? Because you will. The first time you lose 5 figures in one day, you will have a fucking meltdown. But that's what it takes to become a profitable trader. Everybody wants to fucking make the money. Everybody wants to trade and make money, and they want to be, you know, Mr. Flashy, and they want to be everyone. I don't give a fuck. Everybody wants that. But can they lose, and can they learn risk management? Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Right.
How much am I willing to risk?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you could lose track of that real fast. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it today. You saw it today.
I did.
I lost my discipline today.
It's crazy. Man. Yeah.
I had a long day, man. I had to see my friend in a casket today, and yeah, it was really hard. It's really hard to see that. You know what I mean? Because that's somebody that I used to spend a lot of my time with, and I changed, and unfortunately he didn't, and you know, he got dealt a bad hand and lost his life really early, and his family has to deal with that. And I had to watch his sister and his girlfriend and his mom cry today, and it's really sad, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Watch my homies cry, and it's
right.
It's really sad, you know.
You know, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the kind of work that you're doing now.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, yeah.
Because
I want to see my friends. I want to see my friends do better, you know.
Yeah, and it really is a testament to see somebody like you doing so well when you were just where they're sitting now, not too long ago, and they see that you're doing so well, and you know, for some maybe that's the thing that sparks them to be able to be like, well, if Devine can do it, I can do it.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I want to lead by example, you know, like I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. I don't feel like you know, like I've made it. I don't feel like that. Like I feel like I still have a long way to go. I still, you know, I want to create businesses that create jobs for my friends that are on the same level of wanting to change as me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like I became so hungry for change and for wanting to be a better person that's what's driven me to create the things that I have, and I want to be able to share that with those that are as driven as me, you know?
Right. And we've talked about this before, but I know, like, when you're done, you're done. I feel like you know, in your heart of hearts, you know when you're done, bro. When you've had enough and you just can't imagine going through that again, whatever that is, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I can sit here right now and, you know, God willing, let this be the truth, but I don't think I'll ever get in trouble again because I think I'm done. I know. Had enough. You know? So, kind of, I guess, leads me into the first question I was going to ask you. So, what was the original idea behind not just Gold Standard, but you starting these companies? And did you see a gap in something? Like, did you see something that needed to be filled? Is that what led you into this work?
Well, that's actually a really good question. So, what led me into this work is my own experiences with being released from prison and there being no resources, there being no help. It's kind of like they just push you out and they're like, figure it the fuck out, you know, or else you're gonna go back. Like you have to do this, and you got to figure it the fuck out. And there's nobody to help, right? And I saw, so there was some people that were there, and they would help, you know, like they would help you or drive you around to go get your ID or whatever, you know. And I just feel like they were maybe trying to balance that, but you know, and with kind of selfish tendencies. And I felt like after a while I looked up to these people, and then I felt like I could kind of do it better, I guess.
Right.
You know, and I don't know, like I felt like there was a gap. There was definitely a gap, and that's why I focused on one place. I focused on one facility because I really believe in quality over quantity, and I don't want to expand my businesses and bite off more than I could chew. And I feel like without like malice or ill intention, that's what the people that taught me how to do this were doing. I
Right.
feel like they were just biting off more than they could chew. It's not their fault. I feel like they have the right intentions in mind, but they just they were trying to do too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, in starting these types of businesses, a lot of people see problems in the system that that the system built, pretty much, but they never do anything about it. What were the principles that stood out for you to start these type of helpful things that you're doing now?
I feel like, so let me try to understand what you're saying. Um, I feel like there's a principle of morality, right? Like I'm constantly stuck in trying to be less selfish in my life and to practice gratitude for myself and to bring that to other people as much as possible. Like, you know, the biggest challenges that I face now is my own gratitude, being grateful, because when is enough enough? You have to find that balance, you know.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to teach others that have been in the same situation as me, is that you know, you've come this far and you have to be grateful for the journey that you've already taken. I mean, you can always look at another man and be like, damn, like, I want to be there, or he's got it, or whatever, but it's the process, you know. You have to appreciate the process. I think that the principle that really stood out to me is that there's not that, I mean, to circle back, there's not enough help in the system. And I really hope that in this field we're able to continue to help others, you know, and
Yeah.
and we're able to continue to get the funding to help others, because a lot of it is being misappropriated,
Right.
and I hope that you know, kind of straightens out and levels out a little bit, because it's kind of scary, because this whole field might crash, you know. Helping others and peer support, it really is in a dangerous spot with, you know, a lot of people manipulating the system. So I hope that, you know, people do it for the right reasons and they really want to help, and, you know, they don't focus so much on, you know, on selfish things like money and control and power and stuff like that, and they just focus on helping people, because that's really, in my mind, when I focused on actually doing the things correctly and focused on, you know, my quality of work, that's when good things have come to me.
Okay.
You know
Makes
what I mean?
sense. Yeah. So a lot of people see problems in the system that serves us. What was it for you that gave you the confidence to take it from an idea to a reality?
Honestly, I feel like it was my dad passing away. Like, it was just like, that impacted me so much that I wanted to prove myself, because I had never done that before, right? Like, when he was alive, like, I think about this every day. When he was alive, I lacked purpose, I lacked confidence, I lacked approval from him, and I feel like after he died, like, I just felt like a wave over me, like I could do anything, you know. And it hasn't been easy. There's been times where I've doubted myself, and, you know, that I've been down on myself, and I've had anxiety about the next day or the next move. But as long as you can have good people around you, have good support, and you can maintain and balance that good support and not crash it. Because I feel like a lot of people, they get in a good position and they self-destruct, or they wreck it, you know what I mean? And that's something that you have to be careful for and watch. Like, you know, how do I communicate to my support system, hey, you know, if I'm doing this, reach out to me, or do this, or, you know, like, this is how you help me. You know, you have to communicate to somebody else, and you have to not only allow them to help you, but teach them how to help you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I actually have had that experience where, you know, I was messing up and I had to just tell a friend, like, hey, when this happens, when I do this, tell me, confront me on it straight up. Like, I don't need the sugarcoating. I need you to confront me about it and be real about it. And that's how I learn.
That's
and
a
I
humbling
think
experience too, right?
Right, it is. And it's got to be something that you can take because you got to be prepared for that. Nobody wants to hear their best friend tell them, you know, bro, you're fucking up. You got to get it together or you're going to fall. And I ain't going to be there when you fall because I can't be there for that, you know?
Exactly.
And you have to respect that at the same time because, you know, they're only doing what you asked.
Exactly.
So,
there's times where my girl tells me, you know, she'd be like, "You're doing this," and I'm like, "Well, fucking try," you know, and I have to take myself down a notch and, you know, be like, okay, she's right, she's absolutely right. I'm fucking up. I'm doing this wrong. I need to chill out. I need to go breathe for a minute. I need to do some push-ups or something and chill out, you know.
Constructive criticism is a hard thing for some people to accept, for sure.
Exactly.
So how did your work evolve from helping individuals to creating something environmental that holds people accountable and gives them long-term support?
So it evolved like this, you know, with a lot of hard work and distinct determination. Like I feel like it's definitely not easy to build something up, especially when you don't have any investors. You don't have, you know, like you don't have a lot of capital to build the things. Because I can think of something huge, right? But building it is the hard part, right?
Right.
And as long as it just circles back to having good people around you, because without some type of support or good people, or, you know, in this case, like with business employees, you have to have good employees. If you don't have good employees, I mean, you don't have a good business, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, so it's just a process every day that you have to build, definitely, you know what I mean?
Okay. So what standards or non-negotiables, guide you to operate, and why are those important for crafting real lasting impact?
What non-negotiables, like in my business, like
Yeah.
as
Like, so like what are things for you that you can never let slide, you can never let slip, so that things can stay intact the way you built them?
like personally or professionally?
Both.
Well, I can't stand being lied to. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking somebody lying to me, or somebody, you know, if I can tell that they have, you know, like some type of unrelenting envy, I can't be around that. I can't take negativity. I just feel like I don't have any room for it anymore. Like it's just like not something I want around me. Like I try to have some type of aura about me that reads positivity, and that's something that I realized today, like I need to work on, you know, like more and more. I think everybody does, you know, in a way. But that's really just negativity. I just don't want to be around it. There's a lot of, you know, like I get calls sometimes and it's like da 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 da, like especially when I first, you know, got out of prison, it would be like a call from somebody that I used to know about drama, about this person. It's like, bro, I don't care anymore. Sometimes it's family members, like I just don't care. Like I don't want to be involved in the drama. I just, and it, you know, it's came with cutting a lot of people off. You have to cut a lot of people off in your life. You have to, like, I love you, but I have to love you from a distance because I have to work on myself. You know what I mean?
Kevin Gates said that.
No, it's real.
Gotta love you from afar. Okay, so building organizations that serve people who are trying to rebuild their lives comes with unique challenges. What were some of the toughest obstacles you faced, and how did you work through them?
Some of the I run into problems every day. I think you just have to have the confidence to deal with them head on. You know, like you have to lead by example, and you have to, even if you don't know exactly what your next move is, you have to act like you do, and you have to build and pivot, and you have to learn, and do that effectively together with people, because if you can't stand on your own 2 feet and with confidence, who's gonna follow you? If you don't think you're the man, who's gonna think you're the man?
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really just confidence, motivation, just continuing to be consistent, patient with others. You have to be that man to show others, you can do this, you can move forward, and it's not easy. I mean, it's hard every day. Like, I run into problems every day. I have problems today. There's fires that you have to put out every single day, but doing that effectively and consistently, and getting out of bed every day and being the same person, I mean, that's really what's powerful.
Yeah, I agree. At what point did you realize this wasn't just a one project idea, but part of a larger system meant to help people change their direction in life?
And shout out to my boy Chris, and my boy Daniel, Justin, Jesus, Aaron, Michaela, like all of the people that helped me. I just want to take a second to appreciate them. I don't know if you're going to watch this whole interview. I hope you do, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. Thank you for helping me build. But really, meeting Daniel and Chris and Justin and everyone that I just mentioned, I mean, it really motivates me to continue building something effective that can lead to stability for them long term. Like, everybody that works for me in my business, I want them to stay with me forever. So if I see that there's something going on, I want to address that right away, and I want to try to be as humble as possible about it and understanding. And I feel like I am, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm very understanding. I try to be as humble as possible. I try to be patient with people. But it's really something that I'm trying to do, and that I hold dear, is building something that's, somewhat of an empire that can continue to help people, even after I'm gone, or after I move, or like, I want to continue to help and build something up in this area. So that has to do with employment for people, housing, resources for transportation, continuing to make sure that peer support is a thing.
Right.
However the system may change, we have to change with it, and that's something that we deal with all the time.
Right, and the main concern is that what you're doing is a huge need in it, not just in this state, but everywhere.
Yeah.
Addiction ain't going away.
No.
And as long as there's addiction, there's going to be lives destroyed and lives to rebuild. And what you're doing is a great thing, man, and I commend you for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You've also stepped into media and storytelling now. Why was it important for you to create a platform like this, to have conversations? And how does that fit into the bigger picture?
I love that question. So check it out. Look, so it really started when I started emailing back and forth with Ian Big. Shout out Ian Big. And I asked them if they think I would be a good fit. I told them my story and everything, and they invited me out to Connecticut, and I stayed in New York. I went to New York, flew into LaGuardia, stayed in New Jersey, went to Connecticut one day to be on Locked In, and I seen how their show was, and I was like, man, this is so dope. And I kind of, got a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I twist this to be more fitting for me and for my people, to give them a platform and a voice? And now I think that this is the start of something good. Like, I've always wanted to do something with social media and put myself out there, because I feel like I have very thick skin, and I feel like I have a story to tell, right? I feel like a lot of us feel like that. Even if we can't translate that into something that creates good content, I feel like everybody wants to do that in some capacity. Like
Right.
it used to be music for me, and then I let that go. Like it was just too tied to my addiction, you
Right.
know. But now it's like this is what I want to do long term. Like even I'm planning on moving to Florida in a couple years, but I want to build a studio just like this in Florida. You know what I mean? Have you out there? Like these are things that I want to do. You know, like
Right.
I'm planning on doing it. I'm going to do it. It's gonna happen. Like I was saying yesterday. I mean, I live 5 years in the future. You know, that's where my mind's at, and that's, nothing's gonna stop me. Like I have these hiccups. I had a bad day today in the market. It happens. I've had really good days. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't let that affect me. But you see where the difference is, because other people, they would lose in the market and they would have a
Meltdown.
fucking meltdown.
Yeah. Break their laptop. And
Exactly.
all that. Yeah.
Exactly. But I took
Yeah.
it to the chin. It is what it is. I need to do some work. I understand that about myself, and that's where the power lies, right?
Right.
You understand, and that translates to everything, right? I made a mistake. In anything. It could be at work, it could be with the job, it could be at the halfway house, it could be with your girl, it could be with your family, anything personal. Like, I made a mistake. What am I gonna do to fix it?
Right.
Right? You could have so many problems. If you're not trying to fix them actively, you're not growing, you're not moving forward, you're not moving up the stairs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like just being humble enough to stop and be like, how do I fix this?
Right.
That's where the power lies.
And I think something else to be said about doing this type of a show is like the transparency of it all. Living totally transparent. There's something very, very freeing about that, knowing that it's all out there. Like, to me, that gives you so much credibility, because it's like you're putting it all out on the table for all of us to see and dissect, and like you were saying, having thick skin, because it ain't always going to be somebody sitting here saying, oh, you're the man, like like I am right now.
No,
there's going to be haters. They're coming.
There's plenty of them already. I mean, I went on that show with Ian, and there was plenty of people from all over the world talking shit.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people in there saying good things, you know what I mean? And I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah.
I don't let that stress me out,
Focus
like
on
there were some negative comments, and they were like da 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 talking shit, and I'm like, I commented back, I'm like, yeah, what a dumbass, you know what I mean? Like, but the laughing emoji, I have a good attitude about it,
right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that right there is what's gonna lead to it exploding to something bigger, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, because
you have to be like that.
And you're always going to have like people who didn't go through the struggles you went through and still aren't as far as you. Yeah. And they're going to hate that you made it where you made it.
Oh, I mean,
so fast.
There's so many people that already do, bro.
Yeah.
I can think of plenty of people that smile in my face and that talk shit about my back. That's just how it goes. And you have to realize that, right?
Right.
Like, and deal with it in an effective way. Like, it is what it is. I don't care, It's just like, that's not who I'm going to spend my energy on. Exactly. I'm going to spend my energy on the people that actually want to see me succeed and that benefit from that, right? Because it's always a trade-off. Like, I'm going to do something for somebody else that benefits them,
Mm-hmm.
And with this, I want to give people jobs. I want, to help people, give them a platform, a voice, things like that, you know what I mean? Like that's really why I did this, is not only to give myself a voice and a platform, but other people, because I'm going to be sitting on the other side. Like that's where it's going to be, me interviewing other people. So it's going to be different than just this. Like, we're just opening this up for people to get to know me a little bit and to go back and be like, okay, what were the first episodes like? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I see in my mind. But we're gonna have plenty of people on the show, and I'm very excited to see how it turns out. I know it's gonna be something good.
Me too. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say while you were talking that I seen something the other day, kind of going back to the haters thing, that your true friends are the ones that talk shit to your face and defend you in rooms when you're not there.
Exactly.
And I feel like, man, that's so rare nowadays, bro. And that just goes back to what you were saying about how people smile in your face and behind your back,
it's the
bro.
opposite.
They're right there with the knife.
Complete opposite. That's the people you want around you, is the people that will tell you where you're fucking up to your face.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, don't do this, or you're messing up right here, respectfully or whatever. And then when you're not around, and somebody says something, they're like, hold up, like,
fuck Devine. Wait, hold on, man. No, I ain't.
Hold on. Yeah, and
That's
I know plenty of people that go to bat for me behind my back. Plenty of people.
As people should, man.
Those are the people that I want around me, right?
Right. Hell yeah.
I've built a good circle. I feel like I've built a really good circle. I only spend my personal time with a handful of people, you know what I mean? And those are the people that I feel like I can attribute my success to. If you call what I have right now success, I mean, I see it as I have a long way to go, right? I see that. I mean, I have hit a lot of my goals, and I have to be thankful for that. You'd be stupid not to be, like, I feel like the biggest thing is, maintaining freedom.
Yeah, because it all goes away without that.
I mean, you've sat in a cell, I've sat in a cell plenty of times, plenty of days sitting in a cell, listening to the radio, or if you're in prison watching TV, just like wasting the time away, writing letters to my lady, like, this is what I'm going to do when I get home. Oh, I miss you. Like, that's tired. I'm tired of that shit. I'm not doing that anymore. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I have done very well with keeping my promises. I made a lot of promises to my lady when I was in prison, She stuck by me the whole time. Shout out, like, she stuck by me the whole time.
Right.
She doubled down.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, man, like, I might get 20 years. This is a big case. I might get 20 years. Like, you don't have to stay. She doubled down. She went and got my name struck across her neck. So, I mean, she's a writer. And I made a lot of promises when I was in prison, and I feel like I have done everything I can do to keep those promises, and I'm going to continue to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out to her too, because that's so rare, and you're lucky to have that. And I know your gratitude is huge, bro, and so I know you don't miss that, bro.
No.
But
not at all.
So as you look toward growth and expansion, what do you want to make sure never gets lost in things? Like, what, how, like, if a restaurant expands, their quality will go down.
Right. No, yeah, and that's what I think about all the time, right? That's why I haven't been so quick to hire 10 people on the spot, for every person that contacts me about employment. I'm not like, yeah, you're hired, because I could in 2 seconds. I could invest a little bit more into more employees and, build something super quick. I don't want to do that. I want to focus on the quality of helping people and build an effective program before I expand. And that's what I'm working on, That's what we're actively working on, me and Debbie from Empower. Shout out Debbie. We're working on that right now. We're working on putting more structure and gold standard as far as, the employees' roles and my role as the owner and everything, and, writing the program manual and making sure that, the policies and procedures that I had before are, in the right place, and they're worded correctly, and, the operating agreement. It's a lot. I mean, like, owning a business is not for the weak. It's 24/7 job.
Right. I see you every day running around here, just call after call and emails, and it's never ending, bro.
Yeah.
But you handle it well.
Thank you.
You do. You handle it very well, bro. And now you answered that very well too. When you think about success now, what does it look like in terms of the impact you're having on individuals and communities?
Man, that's very deep. Holy shit. I want to see, what I want to see in the next 5 to 10 years is less. I know that there's not going to be less drugs on the street, but more confident community, like a more confident community, more people taking a step towards bettering themselves. I want to see less fighting, less violence, like just less aggression towards others, because not to get too deep into this, because I don't want to get all political or whatever,
Right.
But you got to think there's a tactic from the powers that be to divide and conquer.
48 laws.
So I think about this in everything. I see news, I see somebody, getting killed in another state, or, them burning car dealerships or whatever. And I'm like, what's the reason behind this? Like, what's really going on? Where's the psyop? Where's the conspiracy in this? And that's such a made up word, because half of the conspiracies that that in our lifetime that have come out to be true.
Yeah. Most, yeah. Dang conspiracies.
I mean, I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Right. Not
like it's
political.
I want to see less division. That's what I want to say, and that's on a broader scale, right? As far as like what we're doing right here, I want to see more people getting help out of prison. I want to see less recidivism. I want to see less people going back to prison, right? I want to see us having more employees, more houses to house people. I just want to see it grow. I want to see my businesses grow. I want to see my people grow, my employees, my business partners. I want success for everyone, because there's enough for everyone to eat, right?
Yeah.
We live in a great place. We live in a country where, we are free to practice capitalism, and you can capitalize, right? Capitalize, guys. Capitalize on the moves that are right in front of you. There's opportunities everywhere. Please take advantage of them. And the devil is going to influence you to go back to your old ways. Get out of that mindset. Leave that on the table. Walk away from it. Just, there's so much better things going on in life. Like, you are going to find your purpose and your passion, and follow that, and don't let the little things influence you back into your old life, because that's where you're gonna fail. That's the definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. It's never gonna happen. You're not gonna change that way. You're not gonna change if you keep doing. And it's the little things, right? Like we were talking about yesterday, right? The spiral. It starts way before you do the dumb shit that leads you back to prison or leads you back to addiction. It starts way before that. You have to create a routine. Put yourself around good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to keep beating the horse, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would also add to that, like, when the opportunities do present themselves, take action, because that's where most of us fall. That's where I always have fallen short. Is I've had millions of $1 million ideas, but I've never taken action on none of them. You know, you get a great idea and you just let it
because you get a hit of dopamine when you have a good idea, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's good. But taking the action, having the motivation to actually go through with it, that's the hard part, because you're not going to have dopamine. You're not going to have that dopamine hit when you're actually building something. You don't have that, right?
And when you hit that wall and fail the first time, and the second, and the third time,
and you fall and you fail and you fail and you fail, like it's going to happen, But how do you take that? Just like I said, how do you mitigate losses emotionally? Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you know how to feel when you lose? Are you gonna get angry? Are you gonna break something? Are you gonna sabotage a relationship because you failed? No, and fucking try again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're not getting no younger. You have to take advantage of this shit right now. And a lot of people don't understand that, right? They don't understand how to take advantage of an opportunity. They don't know how to pick themselves up after they fall. They have all these ideas, but they don't know how to network and how easy it is to actually take advantage of something. You know what I mean? How to start a business. They talk about it all day. They could talk, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. The more you talk about it, that energy is leaving you. That energy is leaving you. Keep that energy right here. Don't talk about it. Do it. You know what I mean? Put that energy into actually taking the steps to doing it. You know what I mean?
And then when you do see some success in whatever it is you're doing, stay on the path, because we were literally just talked about this before we started recording. Self-destruction. When things start going good, a lot of us have a tendency to destroy it for ourselves.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy just to think about? I mean, it's hard, because how do I deal with this? I feel like you get a certain level of anxiety. Like, is this real? Am I really going to go through with this? Like, things are going so good right now. Like, is something bad right around the corner, you get paranoid, so you just fuck it up yourself. You know what I mean? It's easier to fuck it up yourself than to wait for something and have anxiety and be like, you know, but you have to understand that you're worth everything, and it's about confidence, right? Like, you have to feel like you're the man, and you have to maintain that and understand that there's eyes on you all the time. Right? So if you fail, how many other people are going to fail as a result of it? I've seen it before at that facility at the halfway house. You know, I've seen one guy fall, and he had 6 other people watching him, and they go right along with him. You know what I mean?
Off the cliff.
And that one guy that started it all, he doesn't even understand that he was the first domino. He doesn't understand that he had six people watching him. You know, influenced by him. The influence is such a huge thing, and I feel like that's what motivates me to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when people look back at the work you've built, what do you hope they understand about what you were trying to create?
Man, I think about this because I'm about to have a son, right? I'm about to have my first kid.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I want my son to see what I built and to be proud. I know it's not going to happen when he's young, but I want my son to grow up and be like, damn, like my dad did all that. Like, just like I think about my dad, right? Like, rest in peace. Like, I think about my dad and I'm like, he was a hard-working motherfucker, man. Like, he worked super hard, you know? He tried so hard. He didn't have the emotional intelligence. He didn't have the control of his emotions or his anger, you know what I mean? But he tried. He definitely tried. I mean, there was times where he wasn't around a lot, you know what I mean? But, I mean, he definitely, I feel like maybe I'm you know, boosting him up in my head, you know, because he's gone and I want to, but, you know, we didn't have the best relationship when he was alive, but, you know, like I think about the good things that he tried to do for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though he didn't do it the right way, I feel like, you know, he tried. Like, he worked hard, you know. He didn't put his money in the right places sometimes or whatever. You know, he made some really fucked up moves, but, you know, that was my dad, and I'm proud to call him that, and I would have him as my dad in any other lifetime, you know what I mean? Like, if I had to choose, I would choose him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he did teach me a lot. Even in his death, he's taught me a lot. Every day he teaches me, you know what I mean?
Well, and one of the things you even just touched on was just children, and this is coming from a father who's made plenty of mistakes to my son. But children don't see the bad in you.
No.
Like, maybe in the moment they do, but after it passes, they don't remember that. They remember the good things you do for them, and how you were there, and then, you know, as you grow older, like what you were just saying right now, you remember the good, you don't remember the bad, and as you grow wiser, you start thinking like, maybe my dad wasn't so stupid when I thought he was stupid. Like, maybe I should have done some more listening to him.
I mean, I just thought that there wasn't value in what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought that I knew it all.
Yeah.
Right? And in my wise mind, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it, you know? And especially after he's been gone, you know, like, I feel like I see a lot of the lessons more. But in the moment, I didn't.
Because you knew it all.
And I had resentment.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like he didn't approach me effectively, or he wasn't around. You know, when I was younger, I had these resentments. So when he would try to spend time with me, I'd be like, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? But I really wish that I wouldn't have done that. But I see, you know, where he tried, and I'm going to take that and try to do better with my son. You know what I mean? All right, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good day.
Yeah, you too, brother.